Let me record. Yes, it's recording. Okay. Hi, guys. Hi, Shamila. Hi, Smangele. Hi, Bali. Hi, Angela. Figile probably she'll rejoin again. And I'm definitely sure that others will be joining after I've sent the confirmation emails. So I will just show my face just for now as I'm introducing myself, and thereafter, I would kindly like to request if I can hide the video so that it doesn't distract me, because I do get distracted by my face sometimes whenever I'm actually having sessions. But just to introduce myself, my name is Nandisile Changase. Students normally prefer calling me Miss Nandi. I'm a counseling psychologist by profession, and I am a student counselor at the College of Health Sciences. I mainly coordinate the School of Laboratory Medicine and Medical Science, which is LMMS. But for today's session, as you would have seen in your program, the program that I had sent you for the session, this program is basically mainly to cover information sharing regarding all the different disciplines, what we would call them in UKZN, but what you would probably know them as degrees. We will be covering the different degrees that are found in the College of Health Science, namely talking about the medicine degree, MBCHB. I'm talking about the physiology and anatomy discipline or degrees, and the nursing degree, and then further on to move on to the School of Health Science uh, section, which is the degrees that are under the School of Health Science are oral hygiene, dental therapy, sports science, pharmacy, occupational therapy, physiotherapy, speech and language therapy, audiology, as well as optometry. So I think already you can see how much of a variety of degrees we have in the College of Health Science. So if probably there was one that you are only hearing for the first time, I encourage you to go and just do your research around it. I think it is always beneficial to even have an idea of what are the different degrees are being offered, not only just in the College of Health Science, but also or in UKZN at large. We have different campuses. There's Howard College. There is Westfield campus. We have School of Medicine, Nelson Mandela Medicine. We have Edgewood. We also have campus at Pietermaritzburg. And then there's also other DCTP sites that are mainly utilized by School of Clinical Medicine rotating students. One is at Port Shepstone, another one is at Stanger, and then another one is at Newcastle. So in all these different campuses, you'd find that all these the different degrees, talking about law, talking about teaching, talking about psychology. There's so many of them. I think really your main task this year, if you are in grade 11 or grade 12, is really to just go full on in to research around what are the different degrees that you could possibly venture into. And with that, it will require you to also dig deep into understanding yourself. It will also require you to dig deep into understanding who are you as a person? What are your skills? What are your interests? What are your what's your personality like? And also, what is your life narrative? Your how has your past influenced you in the current, or how is even influencing where you want to go in the future? So all of these things, they're very much crucial for you to understand. In fact, it's always good to try and start understanding these things from as early as you can. Um, Even if it's via you uh, having to have a mentor, or via you having to have a role model, maybe on television, or someone that you look up to in person who can help you understand even your own self better. I strongly believe that having a mentor or a role model, you don't just pick randomly. You know, there's always something that you'll find intriguing, or find that you kind of align with, or you see a potential self, and then you get drawn to that particular person, or yeah, or thing, right? So I think this year is the year where you will really have to dig deep into self. I had here, I'm not sure if you guys are able to see. Uh, yeah, I think it's all these different degrees that I was telling you that I just read through very briefly. Uh, so yeah, I think that's why I think I found it quite fitting to name this session as digging deep into career self. So this program will be consisting of 2 sessions, right? It started from last year, or rather, it started from years back, but then each and every year it keeps getting reinvented, right? So it was the previous years it was facilitated by a colleague of mine who was going to join in, but unfortunately she had some personal things to attend to, so she's not able to join in on this one. However, she will be joining in the second session. So this program consists of 2 sessions, right? In the first session, we try to cover things that are very much, it's general, but also will help you start reflecting and start really thinking about what's happening with you. Like, who are you? What do you want to do? What inspires you? And how can you align yourself? I even sent yesterday some assessments. One is real stack assessment, and the other one is True Colors personality screening assessment, just to help you get around an idea in a more standardized manner of which categories do you possibly fit into. And then therefore, I think that's why in this session, I'm also expecting quite a lot of engagement from your side, where there will be a part also, just in case you don't get a chance to ask me any question or start engaging with me immediately, there will be a section where we will go through these assessments. So I'm hoping that you have done them, or throughout as I am relaying this information. I hope that you'll just quickly, very briefly, whilst you're listening in, listen, try to get an idea or an understanding, um, or you can just score them. You don't even have to interpret them. Just score and that's it. And we'll interpret them when the time comes. The sessions, both of them, they are to start at 3:30 and end at 5, right? We'll try to not go over time. It's quite a lengthy process. We're trying by all means, because with Korea, you will see as I discuss it further, it's really a lifelong process. It starts from as early as when you are born, basically, I'd say. um so imagine how now taking something that you would have developed from early childhood right up to now, trying to take it and concise it and try to make it fit into 2 sessions, it can be a bit, it can be a bit overwhelming. That's why there will be times probably where we will do a lot of reflections, or times we will, if you have any questions, and I'll try my best to elaborate as much as I can. Okay. I can you just allow me? I need to read a message that was sent to me directly on the chat box. I want to see if I need to respond to this person immediately, or maybe can wait. Okay. So I've responded to the person who sent me a message, and I see we have learners and with their parents. Hi, Vicky. There, I see. Um, I think it's you and your mom. Thank you for joining again. Okay, so as I had explained to you guys that I am part of the student support service team, we offer, I'll just give you a brief background on what are we all about, just in case you didn't know. I've had this, a number of times where learners who get accepted into university, they probably, I've heard some questions around what is student support service. They wouldn't know much about the supporting team. So I'm giving you the first hand, or in getting to know about us, so that should you be accepted in any university, actually, student counseling is in every university, then at least you know that we are there, we exist. Should you ever need assistance with the following uh, services. So we offer guaranteed confidential service, right? It's all confidential. The only times where we are obligated to breach confidentiality is if one may need a form of referral to another professional, um, be it whether it's a medical doctor or an academic staff member, or whoever, depending on the presenting problem that you are presenting with. Or another condition to breaching confidentiality is if you may be presenting with symptoms of being possible harm to yourself, especially if it's severe. We are a team of that consists of psychologists and clinical social workers. Okay. And the number of services that we offer, or just to name a few, we offer individual and group therapy, or counseling, or even individual psychotherapy and assessments. We offer crisis management, psychiatric emergencies. We offer structured group sessions that form part of the retention through program for students who may have been previously um, academically underperforming. We are very much involved in the orientation program, where we get to welcome and assist or usher students through the adjustment and integration phase, and to further offer, extend our support with the first years. We have employed a group of students who are second years and sometimes third years, whom will be acting as mentors to our first year students, right? So these mentors would be professionally trained, uh, and they will be able to guide the students, and refer them when necessary, within their process of adjusting. So I hope that puts you at ease, knowing that once you enter the university system, you're not just let alone like that, in the wilderness, but there is some kind of support out there. It's not just us alone. We even have the campus health clinic supporting staff. We have the disability unit supporting staff. We have academic leaders, that consist of academic leaders, academic advisors, and academic mentors team. It's quite a lot. Extended supporting staff. We have the I'm trying to remember the name. They are part of, it's like a mentoring structure team, uh, that basically deals with other related, university issues or social issues that may arise or may require you to be aware of and be educated around, that address issues such as diversity, um, or social issues such as pregnancy, uh, HIV and AIDS, and other forms of illnesses. So there is, they are, the name has, it has come back to me actually. It's the peer educator. Yes, that's the name that I wanted. And also the most, I think the most, common, arising issue that is, I think, that affects everyone around in and around our communities at large, that, as a university student, it becomes very important for you to, be aware of, which is the issue of gender-based violence. And then we also have other supporting services, or rather, I'd say, supportive means, for students, which are, extending service such as for, food parcel support, yeah, and so forth. All right, and then also we have the funding team. I think, which becomes very important, especially if you are still trying to apply, and you want to apply for residence and so forth. So just having an idea around how can you be supported financially. I will leave the email addresses of the two financial officers that you could, contact should you ever have any queries around financial support, if you do happen to apply in UKZN. Okay, so this is the supporting staff. We are all based in Durban. These are the different campuses. So only in this slide, this is the supporting staff that is based in Durban. And then this is the supporting staff that is not based in Durban. You are welcome to stop me at any point should you not understand something, or should you want me to go back to the same slide, to the previous slide. So I think, getting straight to what we are here for today, or rather, just trying to unpack the difference between a job and a career, right? Because so often we can see the two. There can be a very blurry line between the two. It's so easy for one to think, oh, okay, all I need to know is what degree do I need? Just very flat out on the surface. This is the type of degree that or these are the type of subjects that I need so that I can do this particular degree. In order for me to, depending on your value, maybe in order for me to earn this amount of income, or in order for me to work in this amount in this type of environment, or whatever, or for me to travel, to have a job that will make me travel all the time. Maybe I don't want to be in the same place, and so forth. So it's so easy to blurry the two. Whereas it is important to differentiate between career and job, because it may help you create goals you can work towards in your life, knowing that jobs are just positions you can work to get closer to your career, which gives you the ability to find roles that fit into your goal, align with your skills, personality, interests, and also, I think, purpose. Very, very important to understand. Um, I think it's so easy to overlook the concept of what is your purpose and how can you even get to a place where you get to be aligned with it, or understand what are you um what are you here for, or what can you get out of the way that you are, your personality, or whatever that you're mostly drawn towards, right? So point a job, it's based on salary. Just to get a brief overview of what I've mentioned. And yeah, a job is really to get a salary. Um, I think you're welcome to add. I know we even have parents in the session, so you guys are already in your field. Maybe you can tell us um, what are some of the benefits, or what do we normally, what can people expect to get out of their job, out of a job, right? So it's a salary. um yeah, you can add what else. And then whereas a career, right, it requires it's you to it's knowledge based, a platform for you to grow. It requires you to align it with your skills. And it also, you can turn it into or through a career that you have to develop. You can transition into an entrepreneur in whichever, uh, or let me say, self-employed type of um, individual within that career. Meaning that I think also, meaning that I think there's two ways to look at this. Number one, a career, how I see a career is, it's something that you have to, on a daily, wake up knowing that you even if you were not getting paid to do it, but you would still wake up and still do it. That's how passionate you are about it. If it's serving people, you're passionate, you get fulfilled by serving people. It's part of your values. It's part of what makes you feel whole and fulfills you as a person. And another way to look at it is, um, it's because it would be something that's part of, or that's aligned with your skills and aligned with your personality and so forth, then should there be no job opportunities or little job opportunity, you can still thrive to really make the best out of what you have, out of the degree that you've, whether it's the degree or even without a degree, like a business. For some people, they can start with creating a business, and then later on, uh, go and study for it, just to know the more of the theoretical, or behind this, yeah, the more theoretical and complex part of starting and managing it, or rather managing a business, right? And also there are degrees, many of them, I think, in when you look at it, especially nowadays, degrees that can allow you, that do actually allow you to employ or make a private practice out of, like psychology, like if you're studying MBCHB, you can always open your own private practice. I think also the same for pharmacy, the same for dentistry. For all, so I think this also speaks into when you're now looking at what are the which platforms can your degree give you access to, like what kind of platforms can your degree give you access to. So when you go into a certain degree, you don't necessarily have to look at it as a form of helping you become employable in a certain industry or a certain sector, but also considering other options, such as your degree opening a way for you to opening a private practice. But also, and a wonderful thing about, I think, in these times that we live in, is that you we also have the opportunity, because we are living in a multifaceted society. We are living in a society that also welcomes diversity in all forms. It does become a an even better opportunity to expand your career self in all these different aspects all at the same time. Um it never matters. You don't have to just do one or the other, but you can do all. So I think when you combine the two, when you're taking the career and you're taking the job, it has to be something that you can see. Firstly, you'd have to consider your marks, right, which will require you to work really hard, academically and socially. And when I'm saying working hard academically and socially, I mean working hard, of course, academically, like spending enough time studying, balancing out your academic life, choosing the right subject for the degree that you want to venture into, that will help you pursue your career. Uh, and also socially, meaning that it does become important what other opportunities that you open yourself up to from as little as primary school, even especially in high school. And it doesn't even end once you are in university. It just continues. It's what will also help you build on your portfolio, your career portfolio. It is what will help you collect all the different experiences that you can put into your CV, right? So from high school, maybe, or from primary school, it could be things like engaging in sports. It could be engaging in the different societies. All of these things, they play a very huge role in helping you um, mold your character as a leader. Helps you mold your character as you are engaging in all these different um, in these different extramural activities, what you call as extramural activities, It helps you network with people. It helps you start understanding yourself better. You start understanding your strengths, your weaknesses. You understand. Uh, you learn good communication skills. You learn how competent you are. What are you lacking? How can you build on? You learn conflict management skills because when you are engaging with people from different personalities, for sure you're in as much as yes, it may be difficult at times, but in the process, you are learning how to manage people. You are learning how to manage yourself, your own emotional EQ, or emotional adaptability. You basically stretching out your emotional adaptability, how to tolerate people, how to tolerate and manage yourself during stress. So eh, having to engage in social skills is very important. Who of you here or I think as you are probably listening for now would say you are identifying with some of the elements that I'm pointing towards. How active are you at school? Anyone? Anyone into sports? Anyone into a certain society at school? Anyone who is a prefect? Do we have prefects here or class monitors? Just to get an idea of which high schools you guys are coming from, if you are coming from high, for those of you who are already registered students, because I think we did extend this invite to even registered students, but the first year students mainly. So you're welcome to just pop in the inform us in the chat box that no, you're just the first year student, and also tell us which discipline you're doing. And if you are from a certain high school, do write here on the chat box, tell us which high school are you representing in this session. I would love to know. So with everything that I've just mentioned, I think it all helps you develop a more of a growth mindset. Those all of those things really come together as tools that will help you sharpen your growth mindset so that you move away from a fixed mindset. Now, within a career, also you become expected, especially when we're talking about careers found in the College of Health Science, you'll be expected to be registered under a certain health professions council for degrees such as MBCHB. I'm trying to remember which other one, but I think it's the MBCHB that I'm aware of for now. You can do your own research around the degree that you are anticipating to register for, or you have already registered for. You can always Google or research around which council does it fall under. So MBCHB it's the Health Professions Council of South Africa, and then I know for nursing it would be the SANC um, Council, South African Nursing Council. These council they basically are there to um, they are there to basically monitor and um, educate further on the professionals or yeah, the professionals who are under those councils, and the to protect the professional's own profession, and also to protect the people that one would be offering service to. So that is where you also learn a lot about the different types of ethic or professional conduct that you are to follow as a professional. So we have here a person who's saying they are representing Durban Girls High School, and she is in grade 11. Hey, hello. Welcome, Durban Girls High School representative. Let us know which high school are you from? Okay. So moving on to why is it important to or rather looking at the different models or theories that speak into one's career development journey, right? We have one theorist named Donald Super who mentions that, who basically stipulates that the importance of the development lies in the concept of self, or self-concept, or you'd call it maybe identity, right? According to Super, self-concept changes over time and develops through experience, such as career development is a lifelong journey. So Super believes that a person's career develops from birth, as I had mentioned earlier, right through to their adulthood stage, and it depends on the different experiences or phases in life that they find themselves in, and also the influences that would surround the individual in each of these different stages. For example, if I take let's say, if you are a student right now, I mean, you're a learner right now in high school, and let's say you are a science learner, and you probably are interested in medicine, right? Maybe at some point from birth, maybe there was certain role model. Maybe your mother was a nurse, or someone in your family was a doctor, and even the toys that you played with were somewhat around that same profession. Um, and then later on, you grew older and you became, okay, yeah, and then you grew older, you, because that was the influence around home, you kind of saw that as your reality too. And then you move into high school, there you are, you choosing the subjects, you choosing science, and then maybe you even develop certain role models outside of your family that are in a similar profession. And then here you are, you also become intrigued by different maybe viruses, or there's an experience of your own that speak into certain uh, viruses and so forth, right? And then Mark Savickas, which is the second theorist, talking about a career being a concept that develops through your past injustices or past narrative that you have based on your experiences. There was even a quote that I read in his theory, where it says that, where he basically says a career, it's like it's something that one would have whatever that one has previously passively enjoyed, they seek to, they may seek to actively pursue. Quite in a nutshell, I think what I thought of as I read that quote is, and one example I can use is take a child who, or a teenage learner as you are, who probably grew up in a family where one of the family members, very dear to their hearts, were they became ill and maybe passed away from this illness. And then they grow up having experienced the trauma of the loss of their loved one, right? And they make it sort of like a contract or a and sort of like an oath or a promise to themselves that one day they will try and figure out how did their family loved one pass on. And in doing so, they're going to try and work hard and study, go to school, so that they can try and so that they can become a doctor and then figure out how did their family member pass away. So that is the second approach on looking at what is a career. And the third approach by John Holland, who basically stipulates that a career stems from one aligning themselves with their personality, their interest as well as their skills, and also I think including their APS score, right? Or their marks, their subject marks, which becomes very important. So it's a combination of those which will then help one figure out whether they fall under these different personality characteristics or categories. Namely, is it investigative category? Is it the artistic category? Is it social category? Is it the enterprising category? Conventional? Or lastly, the realistic category? Okay. Are we still on the same page? Is there anyone who would like to, who has any questions so far? Um, what was your, is there a question so far? Do you, okay, give me a thumbs up if you understand and give me a thumbs down if you still um, trying to figure out what is a career and what is a job and where do you fit in. Yes, Angela? Did you want to say something, Angela? Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Excuse me for the noise in case you are hearing something on the background. Um, it is beyond my control, unfortunately. I think with everything that I've mentioned for now so far, I am interested in finding out from your side what did you want to be growing up? What did you want to be growing up? Anyone?
I wanted to be a ballet dancer.
Okay, nice. And if you can remember, how old were you around those times when you wanted to be a ballet dancer? Did it change over time? Did you want to become something else? Or are you still interested in still pursuing ballerina career?
It was around grade 2, but now it has changed. I want to go into health.
Okay, so which degree or career path in health would you like to venture into?
The Bachelor of Health Sciences in Orthotics and Prosthetics.
Okay, that's one. Sorry, well, what did you say again? Can you please repeat that?
Bachelor of Health Sciences in Orthotics and Prosthetics.
Wonderful, nice. That's wonderful. Are you aware of which degree to apply for so far?
Yes.
Which degree is that?
The degree is called the Bachelor of Health Sciences in Orthotics and Prosthetics.
Okay, okay, all right. Did you find out if it is available in UKZN?
Yes, it's not available.
It's not that I think that's why I had to make sure that I was hearing you correctly because I don't think we have it here in UKZN, but we do have similar or rather these degrees that could possibly take you through to um that sector in your career path, which is one that I could think of is it's medicine, and then the other one it's medical science, which consists of anatomy as well as physiology. But
Yes,
yes,
I did want to do physiotherapy at first.
okay, okay. Now I'm glad that it looks like you already have done your research and you are aware which universities you would need to apply to. Is there anyone else? What did you want to be? And has it changed? Is it still the same? Umbali as well as Fikile. Mbali and Fikile. What did you want to be when you grow up? When you were growing up?
Wofun when you grow up. And what's hello?
Hi,
Hi, Fikile.
how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And yourself?
I'm good.
What did you want to
Um,
be growing up?
I wanted to become a doctor.
Wonderful. And has it changed? Still the same?
Um, a little. It has changed a little. But yeah, it's changed.
What do you want to be now?
A pharmacist.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So we
Yes.
do have a pharmacy degree here in UKZN, and I'm hoping that you are already applying for because we are actually now open for application in UKZN. Um, it would be advisable for you to um, try to be in reach of the CAO pamphlet, CAO form as soon as possible. For medicine, I know that it opened, I think from around, was it March or so, and it's closing on the 28th of June. Yeah, on the 28th of
Mm.
June. Um,
I have applied using CAO. Yes.
Wonderful. And then we have Umbali. Bali, what did you want to be growing up and has it changed or is it still the same? Hi, Alexia.
Hi.
Hi there. Thank you for joining.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I was just asking everyone what did they want to be growing up, and has it changed? What do they think of their career journey so far?
When I was younger, I wanted to be a doctor, but it has changed throughout the years. Now I'm more set to be a veterinarian.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And have you applied for? Because I know that I think from undergrad, those are two different degrees. It's not like you go straight into MD-CHB. From my knowledge so far, have you tried to gather information around that?
Yes, I have. I haven't applied yet, but I will get to it. Well, we did sit to apply, but I needed to know how to write my NBTs first.
Mm-hmm. You need to know how to write your MBTs first.
Yes, like if I can do it online or time and place, things like that.
Okay, okay. Do you know who perhaps could be able to assist you with that?
We have found people to help me with that. I did find online that I can write it online, but there's also places near me that I can write it at.
Okay, that's wonderful. I know of someone who applied, I think, but it's a university in Joburg. I don't know if it's UJ or if it's University of Pretoria for ve- for the career that you're actually mentioning now. Um,
Yes, they
so
only offer veterinary science in Pretoria.
in Pretoria, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, all the best with your application, and I hope you
Thank you.
are assisted with what you need. We still need to be assisted with.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let's see who hasn't answered. Buddy, back to you, Buddy.
Okay, so what I wanted to be when I grew up was to be a doctor, and I still want to be a doctor when I grow up.
Wonderful. And have you applied?
Not for next year, but like for the year after.
So I'm assuming you're in
So,
grade 11.
no, actually, I am already in university.
Oh, okay, okay. No, that's
Yeah,
wonderful. So which degree are you doing currently?
I am doing medical sciences.
No, that's nice. That's wonderful. So
Thank you.
I'm glad that we have high school learners and a combination of high school learners as well as already existing university students. I'm a strong believer that you're never too old or too young to follow your dreams. Whatever it is that you feel like there's a burning passion you have a burning passion for internally. It's what what keeps you awake at night. It's what makes you want to go out there and really push. If it really is that burning, just go for it. You're never too young. You're never too old. There's never a waste of experience. Um, every 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 corner that you take in life, I think life is like a road trip destination, road trip or something. You know, there's always something to encounter along the way, but you keep going. Because you've made a stop in one area doesn't mean that you're not going to your final destination. It just means you're making a stop to this area and you're continuing. I always say plan A, you have plan A in life, right? And your plan B, your plan C should always be directed towards how can you achieve plan A. But should it really, really be at a place where there is a realistic limitation to you getting to plan A, at least go for plan B. And plan C and plan D should always be to get to plan B. Now, plan B, you have to make sure it works. So, all the best in as you are pursuing your dreams. Okay. So I think when we are discussing career, because I really want us to do away with looking at degree application as a form of, oh, this is the job I want because it gives good pay, or because it will make me look prestigious, or because it will make A, B, and C, or or the I don't know, like it should really be an based uh individual based mission to pursue based on whatever that makes you who you are, right? So it doesn't it having external or it shouldn't be just something that is motivated by external control or external forces, but rather be something that's really within. That's why it requires you to search deep, reflect deep, and don't and look at yourself as an individual, or from where you come from, where you are currently, and where are you going, so that it can fulfill yourself internally, and which is where career well-being comes in, right? Career or occupational well-being refers to feeling good about the work that you do. It also includes how you feel about work and whether your career option suits you, or stimulates you, or even inspires you. Because if your work or your degree is eliciting all of these things, if it's really invoking all of these things, you feel that you're suited for it, you feel that it stimulates you every single day, you look forward to, maybe there's a certain, and it can start from it being there's a certain subject that really intrigues you. Maybe it's life science, maybe it's mathematics, maybe it's physics, maybe it's economics, any subject that you feel like it really lights up your world and you'd love, or for some people they'll say, oh, they love geography. It really intrigues them to find all these different locations in the maps, and so it really starts from that little light to then you creating something big out of it. If that feeling comes, then your occupational well-being, it becomes strong. You'll become more happier with yourself. You'll feel that you've fulfilled you're fulfilling, you are in a journey of fulfilling your purpose, you which also has a direct link or susceptibility to increasing your mental health well-being, and also making you become a very successful person in life, even in the midst of you encountering failures, because we all know failures are part of life. Maybe you are sitting in a position right now where you haven't experienced much failures. Maybe throughout your life you have been just doing well academically. There isn't much even personally. And then you find that you enter into university set up, and then you here and there, because of you adjusting, because of you continuing to grow as an individual, you finding yourself encountering certain stressors. A career should be something that you still look forward to doing, even regardless of all of those things, even while they are present. That's why it's so important to ensure that you think deep, you reflect deep, and you try and align all these things when you're thinking about which degree do I want to apply for, because you will be encountering life in its totality. You will not be exempted from either or experiences, because you're human and you're growing. And as you're growing, picture your different stages of development, right? You're a high school learner now. You maybe in high school, you start in, there's different levels to your growth. So it's important for you to consider such. Research even shows that people with high career well-being are more than twice as likely to thrive in their overall lives. Which brings me to the next question. With the subject that you're currently doing, do you like what you're doing? Do you like what the subject that you have? And which subject do you like? And also another question is, just in general, when it comes to your the things that you're doing outside of your academic work, what are they, and do you even like what you're doing? How's your life like? Let me start with the first question. Do you like what you are doing in school right now, currently? Okay, just to give you some time to reflect on this question. I'll give you time to reflect on it as I'm continuing to unpack, right? Or on reason why I'm even asking you this question. This might be the most basic yet very important well-being question we can ask ourselves. Yet only 20% of people can give a strong answer yes in response. At a fundamental level, we all need something to do, and ideally something to look forward to when we wake up every single day. So what you spend your time doing, right? What you spend your time doing each day it has the potential to shape your identity, whether you are a student, a parent, a volunteer. I see in the chat box we had someone saying, let me read the question, the answer or the response. They said they are not involved in sports, but I'm involved in an orphanage group which goes to a local orphanage called Ithemba Lethu, where we play with kids and we have fun with kids. That's a good initiative to be involved in. Well done. Okay. So when people first meet, they ask each other, what do you do? If your answer to that question is something you find fulfilling and meaningful, you are likely thriving in the career well-being in the career well-being aspect of your life. I think in your capacity or level, this question can be rephrased as, what do you like to do as a hobby or in your spare time, or who's your role model or your favorite book or series to watch, and also what's your favorite subject. It's very, very important. One of the things that we make sure whenever we are offering students or learners with career assessment and counseling, we ask them, what was your favorite career subject in high school? Or what is, for you guys, particularly in this session, what is your current favorite subject? People usually underestimate the influence of career on their overall well-being, but career well-being is arguably the most essential of the 5 elements of well-being. If you don't have the opportunity to regularly do something you enjoy, even if it's more of a passion or interest than something you get paid to do. The odds of you of you having a high well-being in other areas diminishes rapidly. People with high career well-being are more than twice as likely to be thriving in their lives in overall, right? Imagine that you have a great social relationship, financial security, good physical health, but you don't like what you do. You don't like what you do every day. Chances are much of your social time is spent worrying, complaining about your lousy job, and this causes stress. This can cause stress, taking which could take a toll on your physical health, right? And if your if your physical health is being impacted negatively, it means that you also now have to pay attention to or start digging into your financial well-being, which so that you can try and or sponsor your physical health well-being, which means that then you will be starting to collapse on both or on all these three well-being. So I hope you can see the importance of really getting to do what you enjoy on a daily, as opposed to just looking for a job, so that you can get, so that it can fulfill your value of prioritizing money or finances or certain environment or a certain it's not just looking into that alone, but it has to do with what you enjoy. So I hope you guys are able to answer my question now. What do you like? Do you like what you do each day? Angela?
Yes, I do enjoy the subjects that I do. I do life science, physics, and consumer studies. So I am liking all of them mainly because they teach me something new each day. Like what they teach me is like something that I didn't know, and because now I know, it becomes more interesting.
Wonderful. And Alexia?
I enjoy what I do each day, mostly because having subjects like maths and physics, it's routine. You Once you get the hang of something, then you have it and you can't get rid of it. And knowing that I have the hang of most things, then it just becomes simple. So that's why I enjoy doing those subjects.
Wonderful. Yes, Vigile.
Enjoy schooling.
I enjoy maths in school.
Wonderful.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. So, when planning for a career, it is important for you to consider the following. Career choice, it's important because it gives you a purpose and direction in life. A career is a way of earning money and sustaining oneself, and also it becomes part of your identity. It also allows you to grow professionally and intellectually and have enriching life experiences. I think I've already elaborated so much on the differences between a job and a career. But to just to briefly go through the different points, with the job, you do to earn money, and you also it's not focused on what comes next, right? So it's mostly just what you're doing now, from the time when you are employed to all the other responsibilities that you need to take care of at that moment. You're the one. Therefore, that's why it becomes important for you to be more focused on your career, because a career is lifelong. Whilst your job will not, or your degree alone, it will not determine for you what you can do next with the degree that you have. You're the one that will have to consider that for yourself. If you want to study further, that would be your choice to study further. Otherwise, your job will not open that opportunity for you unless if you think of it. That's why when you in some workspaces, you'll find people who are always in the same position. They have the same degrees. They're not considering studying further or venturing into other things. That's why we have concepts such as what do you call this? Job stagnation, or people feeling like they've reached ceiling. That's why it's so important for you to think out of the box of just a job alone. A job is like a box, but when you're looking at your journey as a lifelong career path, then that will give you a sense of how can you grow further wherever you are planted, whichever degree that you are venturing into. I think I've pretty much uh, been able to just combine the two in explaining them. So in a nutshell, a job is what you do for a living, and then a career is really who you are as a person. And also to further put this into perspective, a degree is for, like, how I see it, or a job, it's like, if you look at it from an objective lens, if you can see here on this diagram that I have, it's written objective career, and then on the next to it we have subjective career. Objective career, it's more like you're taking a certain career path, like you applying for a certain degree, and then you study for the 4 to 5 years, or whichever years that you are required to study for, um and then you basically, it's your way of learning how to manage your this career, making sure that it works for you, right? Which will require you to plan out your career, and then just develop, and that's how it's seen from an outward lens. That's how, especially I'm sure in your um current level, you're looking at it from this lens, from an objective view, that, oh, okay, all I have to do is just apply, I'll get into university, I'll pass the modules, or what you call the subjects, and then once that is done, then I'm good to go. I'm getting a job and I'm managing it, and I'm able to live comfortably with my family, me and my family. However, uh, from a subjective place, or subjective career view, a career is it consists of self management, right? From you managing how you're able to, from you managing the soft aspects, as well as the technical, or more of the physical aspect of who you are as a person. be it your emotional adaptability, your marks, your skills, and so forth. It speaks into your level of competence, right? That's why in class you would have gradings, like you have to you have tests and exams that you need to um you need to undertake so that you can move on to the next level, which I think all of this requires you to every now and then improve, not improve, but yeah, I think improve on your sense of motivation, because with that journey alone comes a lot. Like there's a high amount of workload, higher than high school workload. There is a lot of things to adjust to. So having to every now and then tap into your sense of motivation is important. Having to tap into your level of commitment it becomes it becomes an ex, a subjective experience. Um, and also looking into how successful you can be, which will require you to have an identity of self, have an insight to what am I lacking, what am I good at, how can I, if I'm lacking somewhere, who can I reach out to so that they can be able to help me, because that's so important. Um, and if I'm good at something, then how can I continue to see it improving, or see it carrying me through? It requires you to have a level of resilience, career resilience, right? Having a sense of maturity and also self-efficacy. So can you see how really when you are unpacking a career development, it's not just from this objective lens alone where all you know is, oh, I just like high school, it's almost like linear, like you just applying, you getting into the degree, and then you're getting a pass, and that's it. There's so much to consider as an individual. That's why getting into a degree that you enjoy doing, you are competent in, um you're passionate about, it really does become important. It all plays a role in your success. Okay, I won't go through, and like I mentioned earlier, nowadays we have the advantage of looking at our career paths from different that from we have an opportunity to apply ourselves or yourself in different ways in the career that in this career journey that you are growing in. You can be, that's why now you even see people who are medical, I'm just making an example, medical doctors venturing into podcast, medical podcast. They suddenly realize, oh, because they also like imparting information, then maybe starting up a podcast where they discuss medical issues is actually going to help. And in that way, they can even make a source of income. That's why there's different things that you can tap into once you are sure of which career field fulfills you. For Alexia, who wants to be a vet, uh, perhaps she's realizing, oh, she really enjoys helping animals, or just, being one and being friends with animals. Then she can consider one day, once she's a vet, or she actually wants to start like a safety home uh, for abandoned animals, you know. And then, it's how at the end of the day, it if you choose a career that that aligns with your personality, your skills, your interest, and you are passionate about it, you have the ability to apply yourself in different ways within the same career path. I think we'll, as we are ending off the session, remember there is 2 sessions for this one. It was really tapping into you digging deep into career self, you really aligning and yourself to the right chapter of who you are, what you are all about, how have you been, and where are you going. And then in the next session, we will tap into the degree specific information. So do come in with a lot of questions in the next session, so that that are related to the degree that you have applied for, right? And also, I will encourage that you don't have to have questions for just your first choice career. You can even come in with the second choice career, because it's I think it's always good to try and figure both out if opportunity allows. Okay, so I think once you've ventured into, okay, this is the career that you like, or it then becomes important for you to consider, as I had spoken about, the strengths and the weaknesses, the things that are, or the characteristics that in nowadays, especially the career fields, are mostly looked for in the workspace, like what type of a graduate should you expect yourself to become, so that you can become employable in the different industries, or that can help usher you into creating your own opportunities in the workspace or in the career space. You need to be someone who becomes a competent in problem solving skills, right? Be it analytical thinking, complex problem solving, reasoning, and being creative. And even in your critical thinking skills, you need to be someone who is good at self management. So that means the skills that you need to harness are being an active learner, uh, and also being resilient, being able to tolerate stress and flexibility, right? You need to be someone who's good at working with people, um, display leadership skills, and be able to have good interpersonal relationship with other people, work in a team. In all areas of your career life, you will always need a group of people to work with. So while they are fulfilling their dreams, you are also fulfilling your dreams. So you always need people around you to help you fulfill your dreams. And then technology use and development in this day and age, where um, we live in and around technology. There is absolutely almost nothing you can do without tapping into technology, or something that will make you tap into technology. It's important for you to harness your technical skills, even if it means taking up a short course on side that can help you uh, develop that skill. Okay, so guys, I'm mindful that we have hit the clock. Unfortunately, we have hit the clock that takes us to the end of the session, of which is in the program I stipulated that the session will end at 5, but because we didn't get an opportunity to look into the assessments that I sent on email, may I kindly request that we start off from this segment in our next session, which will take place in June, where we will be discussing the degree-specific information. So think of this now, think of it after the session. Start thinking about any question that you might have regarding the specific degree that you are venturing into, right? Whether it's what are the basic requirements that are needed. I'm sure most of it you've already read them by now through the CAO pamphlet. You've already asked people who might have an idea. Maybe, but there's always still some kind of question, like maybe what you wanting to figure out, which modules might be that you might need to, that you will be doing, like that you need to look forward to doing. Another question like funding, questions around funding for the degree. I'm trying to think of other questions, but there's always maybe questions about university itself, regardless of which university you're going to. So I want you to start thinking about these questions. And then we'll on the 18th of June, 18th of June, I will be looking forward to seeing you in the session. Fikile, Alexia, I think we also had Angel. At some point, we also had Umbali. I'll definitely remember your names. Do join in so that we can continue where we left off, right? But I hope in leaving you, I hope that you have done these quizzes. What we can do is you can actually send the completed assessments back to me on email. You already have my email address, as I had already emailed you yesterday. Even today, I emailed you. So please complete these assessments. I see Angela is back. Okay, I think she's trying to join in. Let's just wait for her so that she hears the instruction. Welcome back, Angela. So I was just saying that because now we unfortunately have reached the end of the session, we can no longer reflect on your responses from the assessment. So I cannot give proper feedback. But what I would request is that you complete these assessments and then please send them straight to me on email. You can send them straight to me on email, then we can discuss them further, even if it means just having a very brief chat, maybe like on Zoom. We can connect via Zoom and we can have a brief chat that would be a session that's just tailor-made for you, just a very brief chat. We do offer career assessment and counseling. So it wouldn't form part of a career assessment and counseling session, but very brief based on what we have discussed here on the session, right? So these are the assessments that I sent you. The first one is a REASEC test. I know Angela said she was still in the process of completing it. And then we also have the True Colors personality assessment. Please do complete them. And then I'm looking forward to your responses on email. And just lastly, I have forwarded or sent you guys on the chat box the links to rate the impact of the session. As we are closing off now, So thank you guys for joining. I appreciate that you stayed throughout with me throughout the session. Thank you, Philile. Thank you, Alexia. Thank you, Angela. I'll also try and connect with Umbadi, and if there was, I can't remember. I'll go back to the recording to check who else did join in. But thank you, ladies, for joining in, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next session where we'll be discussing the more specific, degree-specific information about the degrees that you have applied for. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Take care.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye. Thank you.